and we're at 3 o'clock.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare
Jai Jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Puri Brajakacharya Ashtottara Shatasri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mayi Ki Jai Jamuna Mayi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, and welcome everyone for Srimad Bhagavatam with His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami. It is Wednesday, October 9th, 2024 in New York, and we are reading in the 4th canto, 6th chapter, today starting with text number 41. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tatapare Siddhagana Maharshibhir Yevai Samantad Anunila Lohitam Namaskrita Praha Shashanka Shekaram Krita Pranamam Prahasam Nivatmabuhu. All the sages who were sitting with Lord Shiva, such as Narada and others, also offered their respectful obeisances to Lord Brahma. After being so worshipped, Lord Brahma, smiling, began to speak to Lord Shiva. Lord Brahma was smiling because he knew that Lord Shiva is not only easily satisfied, but easily irritated as well. He was afraid that Lord Shiva might be in an angry mood because he had lost his wife and had been insulted by Daksha. In order to conceal this fear, he smiled and addressed Lord Shiva as follows. Om Jnana Timirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So last we read Lord Brahma and all the demigods are approaching Lord Shiva, who's seated beneath this magnificent banyan tree with many sages and having a conversation with Narada Muni. And immediately upon seeing Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva stood and offered his respects to Lord Brahma. And now we're hearing what happens next. The sages that were there with Lord Shiva are also offering their respects to Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma has a plan in mind. He has a plan that he's going to present to the demigods, present the demigods before Lord Shiva to try to seek pardon for the great wrong here. I thought it was particularly interesting that here we're speaking about Lord Brahma, engineer, creator of the universe, however you want to look at it. And at the same time, he's approaching Lord Shiva with, he understands the psychology of Lord Shiva, and he's not just blustering, I'm the creator of the universe, I'm the engineer, people do what I say. No, he's dealing with him in a very personal way. He knows Lord Shiva's mindset. He knows that he's both easily pleased and easily agitated. And he's smiling, although feeling a little uneasy because of the situation and how volatile Lord Shiva can be. And certainly he has reason to be upset in this circumstance. So I just found it very, very pleasant to see that Lord Brahma, our Lord Brahma, is a person. He's dealing with Lord Shiva as a person, and it illustrates how persons, no matter what level they are without the creation, everyone has their individual personality and psychology, and those things have to be acknowledged and respected and dealt with if you want to have satisfactory results. So I found it very charming on the part of Lord Brahma that he's smiling, but it says concealing his fear. Srila Vishwanath also says, though they, meaning the demigods, were internally fearful, they showed joyful faces externally, like Hare Krishna. Maharaj, would you care to say something here?
I think you covered it well. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I see that there are at least two people, Radhesha Prabhu and Panchatattva Prabhu, that when I saw them pictured in video, they were both behind the wheels of motor vehicles. So I don't know if they're able to read.
I parked.
Oh, so
I parked
okay.
for this one.
All right. So since you've told
My
us,
apologies for not parking more often.
if you'd like, we'd love to hear from you for text 42, if that's possible.
I'd be happy to. Brahmavacha jane tvam isham visvasya jagato yoni bijjayaho shakte shivasya chaparam yattad brahma nirantaram. Translation. Lord Brahma said, my dear Lord Shiva, I know that you are the controller of the entire material manifestation. the combination, father and mother, of the cosmic manifestation, and the supreme Brahman beyond the cosmic manifestation as well. I know you in that way. Purport. Although Lord Brahma had received very respectful obeisances from Lord Shiva, he knew that Lord Shiva was in a more exalted position than himself. Lord Shiva's position is described in Brahma Samhita. There is no difference between Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva in their original positions. But still, Lord Shiva is different from Lord Vishnu. The example is given that the milk in yogurt is not different from the original milk from which it was made. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, Lord Brahma begins his speech to Lord Shiva by acknowledging his position. We see this pattern a lot in approaching great personalities. First of all, there's some appreciation of their position and of their good qualities. And so Lord Brahma is beginning his petition in this way. There's, of course, a reference to a verse of Lord Brahma's own composition, Brahma Samhita, Chiram Yata Divikara Visesha Yoga. Chiram, milk, dadi, yogurt. It's explained in that verse that yogurt is produced from milk, and although they're of the same ingredients, they have some different quality. But basically, they're the same substance, manifested differently. It's interesting in the translation for that verse, and maybe Guru Maharaj could comment on it, or maybe address something that I was thinking about. But there's a place in there where it says, Jasambhutam apitata samupaiti karyat, and the word karyat is given as a translation for the matter of some particular business. In the translation, the business is made clear by the translator. Shambhu is a transformation for the performance of the work of destruction. But that's not really, doesn't appear to be specifically mentioned in the Sanskrit. So there it is, Yasambhutam apitatasam upaitikaryad. Transformation, the state of Shambhu is a transformation for the performance of the work of destruction. So Lord Brahma is acknowledging Lord Shiva's service relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and how close he is practically in identity with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just little difference. Milk, yogurt. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, we'd like to hear from you if you have something to say here.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Shaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharne Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pashchatyate Shataya. Yes, we often find this in our translations, that the translator helps us by fluffing out, as it were, unpacking the translated words, or the words being translated. So we get karyat from the business. Well, what is that business? So the translator makes that explicit for us, the business of destroying the cosmic manifestation. We have Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary here. You want to read that?
Sure, I'd be happy to read that. First, I'll read a translation of the verse, which is slightly different from Prabhupada's. Brahma said, I know you are the Lord of the universe, Prakriti and Purusha, that you are superior to Shakti and Shiva, and that you are also the Brahman without qualities. And the commentary, though you offer respects to me, Brahma is saying, though you offer respects to me, you are more powerful since you are one with the Supreme Lord. He speaks taking the mentality of a Shaivite. The Shaivites think of the Lord, Prakriti, and Purusha as the form of Sada Shiva. That is the explanation of this verse. I know you are the form of Sada Shiva, the Lord of the whole universe composed of Prakriti and Purusha, because I know that you are superior to the Prakriti and Purusha, Yoni Bijayo, of the material world. These items are explained. They are Shakti and Shiva, but I know that you are the famous Brahman without differences, Nirantaram.
The translate the text is a little dense here in the commentary, and in the translation also, or the Sanskrit also. Janane Tvam Isham Visvasya. I know that you're the controller of the entire cosmic manifestation. So Lord Shiva is being addressed here. Brahma is addressing Lord Shiva as being practically as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Brahma, we know, is one of the jivas. Generally speaking, he's chosen from among the marginal living entities. But Lord Shiva is not in the position of being one of the marginal living entities. He's a special manifestation of Krishna directly. In terms of manifestation, in terms of material creation, or for the sake of the material creation. And on that account, Karyat, there's some difference. There's some transformation that makes him slightly different from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he's in that position of being almost as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the example is there, the milk and yogurt. Yogurt is, what do we say, a milk product. There's a difference between yogurt and salad or applesauce, because the yogurt is still milk. But it's milk. So here we have Lord Shiva. He's practically on the level of Lord Vishnu, which means quite above Lord Brahma. So Lord Shiva is addressed as the Vishvasya Isham, the controller of the entire cosmic manifestation. Isham Vishvasya Jagata, and Yoni Bijayo. I think Prabhupada says you're the combined mother and father. Shakti Mateo Veda. Lord Shiva is complete with his Shakti. In the temple, Lord Shiva is represented by the Shiva Linga, in which Shakti is also represented, or Yoni and Bija are both represented. So the mother and the father are both represented in Shiva Tattva. Shakti Shivasya Acha Param. And yet you're transcendental to this position of being the combined father and mother of the cosmic manifestation. You're beyond them also as Sadashiva. Sadashiva is the transcendental form of Lord Shiva, beyond the cosmic manifestation. He's identified, practically speaking, with Narayan. So you're very much involved in the cosmic manifestation and its creation and destruction, and at the same time you're beyond them. And Brahma Nirantaram, you're also identical with the impersonal Brahma, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti. So in this way, interestingly, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Brahma is speaking in the mentality of a Shaivite, that you're the source of everything. You're the transcendental source of the cosmic manifestation. So this is how a Shaivite would view Lord Shiva. All right. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. I had a question here. When you were referring to Sadashiva, I think you used the term practically speaking to describe his identity as in the spiritual world as on the same level as Narayan. I just want to make sure I understand this, because in the spiritual world, there are innumerable Vishnu expansions, innumerable Narayan expansions. And when we say Sadashiva, is he factually a full Vishnu Tattva? It would seem that he would have to be, for him to be represented there in the spiritual world. Is that not correct?
I would have to look very carefully at the verse and purport. I believe it's in 5th canto where Sadashiva is explicitly described. The little rough around the edges in my Shiva Tattva. I know he's described there as Narayan. But there's some distinctiveness, because he said if there were no distinction at all, he wouldn't be Sadashiva, he'd just be Narayan. So he has his distinct manifestation, and he's described, again, I believe it's in 5th canto, but he's described Sadashiva. So some individuality, some particular characteristics must be there to distinguish him. At the same time, he's identified as Narayan.
But in the spiritual world, then he would not have the same similar but equal. There wouldn't. The analogy of yogurt and milk wouldn't apply, it seems to me, as far as Sadashiva is concerned.
As far as I would understand, no, because that has to do with the material context. There's something material, something that changes milk into yogurt, but there's no material contact in the spiritual world.
Right. So
that makes sense to me.
Right. So there are some differences in personal quality, but not difference in tattva.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Madhupati Prabhu, if you're willing, we'd like for you to read text 43. Is that possible?
Okay.
Thank you.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Purata Jayadvaita Swami.
If I could just head you off a little bit, in Adi Lila 679, in the Vayu Purana, there's a description of Sadashiva on one of the Vaikuntha planets. That Sadashiva is a direct expansion of Lord Krishna's form for pastimes. It is said that Sadashiva, Lord Shambhu, is an expansion from the Sadashiva in the Vaikuntha planets, Lord Vishnu, and that his consort Mahamaya is an expansion of Rama Devi or Lakshmi. Mahamaya is the original. Well, yeah, that's what's said about Sadashiva.
Jai, sorry, can I write the reference down for people, Maharaj?
Adi 679.
Thank you.
Also, I think Advaita Acharya Gurumaj also is considered as Sadasiva, and he's on the Vishnu Tattva platform.
Yes.
Go ahead, Madhupati Prabhu.
Okay. Tvam eva Bhagavan eta Shiva Saktya Sarupayo Vishwam Sijasi Pashyatsi Kridan Urna Pato Yatha. My dear Lord, you create this cosmic manifestation, maintain it, and annihilate it by expansion of your personality. Exactly as a spider creates, maintains, and winds up its web. Purport. In these words, the word Shiva Shakti is significant. Shiva means auspicious and Shakti means energy. There are many types of energies of the Supreme Lord, and all of them are auspicious. Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwar are called guna avatars, or incarnations of material qualities. In the material world, we compare these different incarnations from different angles of vision. But since all of them are expansions of the Supreme Auspicious, all of them are auspicious. Although sometimes we consider one quality of nature to be higher or lower than another. The mode of ignorance or tamogun is considered very much lower than the others. But in the higher sense, it is also auspicious. The example may be given herein that the government has both an educational department and criminal department. An outsider may consider the criminal department inauspicious, but from the government's point of view, it is as important as the education department. And therefore, the government finances both departments equally without discrimination. Om Gnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshulmitan Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. There are these, the Lord's incarnations are categorized in different categories, and one category is the Guna Avatar. And Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwar are Guna Avatars. And Lord Shiva is considered to be the controller of the tamogun, the mode of ignorance. And Srila Prabhupada is mentioning the purport, how Shiva is auspicious and all his energies, all the energies of the Supreme Lord are auspicious. Whether it is Antarangi Shakti, the internal energy, or Bahirangi Shakti, the external energy, the Lord's perspective, it's all auspicious. So even these modes of material nature, which are Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamogun, and their controllers. From the Lord's perspective, it's all auspicious. And then Srila Prabhupada gives an analogy of this, just as for the government, the education department and the criminal department, the prisons, from the government's perspective, they spend, in fact, more money to maintain the prisons for reformation. And it's auspicious. Though externally it may seem, there's a place where the prisoners are put. So similarly, Tamogun is considered auspicious. And the controller of Tamogun, Lord Shiva, it's most auspicious. Yeah, that's all I had to say.
Thank you so much, Bodhipati Prabhu. Maharaj, would you care to say something here?
No, I think it's covered. There's an often made point about auspicious and inauspicious. Prabhupada's purport is clear, and Madhupati Prabhu has further clarified. I think nothing more from me.
All right, Krishna, thank you. So bringing us to text 44, is Venkatesh Prabhu available to read?
Sorry, not yet. 10 minutes more.
Okay, 10 minutes more, fine. Ross Prabhu, would you care to read us our text 44?
Yes.
Thank you.
Tam eva dharmata dugat vipataye dakshina utrena sajartitad yaram tvayada loke vasitastra setavu yan brahmana shadadate drishta rata. Translation. My dear Lord, your Lordship has introduced a system of sacrifices through the agency of daksha, and thus one may derive the benefits of religious activities and economic development. Under your regulative principles, the institution of the 4 varnas and ashramas is respected. The brahmanas therefore vow to follow the system strictly. Purport. The Vedic system of varna and ashrama is never to be neglected, for these divisions are created by the Supreme Lord himself for the upkeep of social and religious order in human society. The brahmanas, as the intelligent class of men in society, must vow to steadily respect this regulative principle. The tendency in this age of Kali to make a classless society and not observe the principles of varna and ashrama is a manifestation of an impossible dream. Destruction of the social and spiritual orders will not bring fulfillment of the idea of a classless society. One should strictly observe the principles of varna and ashrama for the satisfaction of the Creator. For it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita by Lord Krishna that the 4 orders of the social system, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras, are his creation. They should act according to the regulative principles of this institution and satisfied of the Lord, just as different parts of the body all engage in the service of the whole. The whole is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his Virat Rupa, or universal form. The Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras are respectively the mouth, arms, abdomen, and legs of the universal form of the Lord. As long as they are engaged in the service of the complete whole, their position is secure. Otherwise, they fall down from their respective positions and become degraded.
Your thoughts here, Prabhu?
I have more of a question. I'm not sure what is meant by Virat Rupa here. Is this like an expansion of Krishna, or is this something metaphorical? I don't have any comment though. Sorry.
Thank you for reading, Maharaj.
The Virat Rupa means the cosmic manifestation, the world, the Vishva, essentially the world is good enough, viewed as the body of the Supreme Lord. The vision or the picture is given that the world is the body of the Supreme Lord, and then the different aspects of the world, different manifestations in the world, are parts of his body. So in many places it's said the Brahmins are his head, the Kshatriyas his arms, the Vaishya his abdomen, and the Shudras his feet. So that's the context here. The Virat Rupa, the form of the Lord as the entire cosmic manifestation. There's a lot that's notable here. First of all, I find it, as as the Kendra said, sort of charming or attractive to see Lord Brahma's strategy in approaching Lord Shiva. Is taking a humble position, and here he's saying, my Lord, this arrangement for Varnashram is your arrangement, and everyone has a place in that arrangement. The demigods have a place, the Daksha has a place, and it's by your arrangement and your regulative principles that these ashrams are in place and they're respected. And then he'll go on, of course, to argue that we're concerned that your arrangement it's be preserved, like in India, someone that you go to, an official or whatever, he'll say, I'm doing your work only. I'm looking out for you, for your interests. So Lord Brahma's, we have so much respect for the arrangement that you've put in place. And wouldn't you like to see that arrangement continue nicely with all the demigods restored to their positions and Daksha restored? That apart, then we go to the purport, and Prabhupada's very strongly presents that if you think you're going to get a classless society by destroying these different orders, you're in illusion. If you think that we'll bring down the royalty, we'll bring down the nobility, we'll abolish these, and then we'll have a classless society with égalité, fraternité, liberté. That's not what you're going to have. You're going to have a mess, because you can't eradicate the differences between different classes of people. It's a dream. You'll still have somebody in charge. You'll still have philosophers. You'll still have people who, looking at one attempt to transcend categories. The hippies, they all dropped out of the system, the capitalist system, and yet there were what was called rich hippies who saw that, well, we could make a business out of this, whether it was selling drugs or selling drug paraphernalia or investing in rock bands or whatever it is. They saw there's money to be made here, and that's how Vaishya sees. Wherever he looks, he sees possible economic gain. He sees a profit wherever he looks. Well, if we did this. So even if you put him in charge of a revolution, that's what he'll see. We can overthrow these people, and then we can get their money. And maybe we say we'll distribute it, but we'll do something with that money. So they're looking for a profit, and then there are others who are, they just want to be in charge. We'll bring down the royalty, but then we'll be in charge. We'll be in charge. Who's that we? Well, it's not quite everyone. It's a subset of everyone, because not everyone knows how to be in charge, but we know how to be in charge. So we'll take control. Even if we do it in the name of the workers, there'll be different classes of workers. The higher workers and the lower workers. You can't avoid it. Maya Shrishtam, because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I made this arrangement. So even if you try and knock it down, it'll still be there. It'll still be there under a different name, under advertised differently, or somehow or other we'll make a pretense that we've done away with all these divisions. Everyone's a comrade, everyone's equal. But no, it won't be like that. There'll be still divisions. There was one godbrother, he sort of distanced himself from the society, but then I got to meet him again. And he'd been through difficulties, but he was still, in one way or another, preaching Krishna consciousness. And he had a group of people. And I saw this is who he was. He was a leader by nature. And even if he's not going to be a leader in the official society, he'll go out someplace else and he'll still be a leader. You know, if you take him and 8 other people and put him in the room, he'll be the leader, because that's his nature. He was a leader, and whatever else might happen, he'll still be a leader, and the others will be followers by their nature. And there's so many examples we can give of how those who have those qualities, Soryam, Tejo, Jyotir, you can't abolish that. You can't say, okay, you're not allowed to be powerful anymore. You're not allowed to be determined anymore. You're not allowed to be fearless anymore. Soryam, Tejo, Jyotir, Daksham. You can't be expert anymore in how to manage things. You can't have that mentality of being the person who shows generosity to others and who's therefore, by implication, superior. And you can't have a take charge mentality anymore. No, you can't do that. He'll still have a take charge mentality. He'll still have generosity. He'll still want to exercise power. That's the nature of some people. And there are other people, they wouldn't want to be in charge of anything. You know, let somebody else decide, let somebody else manage it. You know, you make the decision, come back and tell me. He doesn't want to be in charge. He doesn't want to be in charge. Nor would he look at the situation and say, well, how can we make money out of this? Which is what the Vaishya would do. No, you know, whatever. You know, whatever. He doesn't have it. So there'll be, Prabhupada one time translated this, these divisions are everywhere because they're created by the Supreme Lord. Even in the classless society, they'll be there, even if you bring down the monarchy and establish a republic, they'll still be there because they're created by Krishna. So the idea of a classless society, or the idea of absolute equality, is what does Prabhupada say? An impossible dream. An impossible dream. And we see that even in a so-called classless society or a so-called democracy where the people decide everything. No, they'll be manipulated by those who have money, by those who have power. It's not going to be what you think that will be. No, it's not going to be classless. There'll be favored classes, always. The destruction of the social and spiritual orders will not bring the idea of a classless society. So then the opposite is what should be done. Instead of saying, okay, we're going to destroy these 4 divisions and have a classless society, no, we should restore them, but in the proper form. Kings should be qualified kings. The intellectuals should be qualified intellectual. They should be pure in their activities. They should be, yes, pure in their activities. They should be Krishna conscious, essentially. We want Krishna conscious intellectuals, Krishna conscious kings or controllers of the state. We want Krishna conscious Vaishyas, those who will not try to rip off the land and rip off their customers, but those who will acknowledge that this is all the property of Krishna. And if we cooperate with Krishna's arrangement, we can make a profit, we can have prosperity, That's where their eyes are. Where's prosperity? Where's money? Where's a profit? Where's abundance? Not just money, but money may be, prosperity may be cows, it may be grains, real prosperity, grains, cows, land, resources. They look toward those things and say, yes, we can turn these into prosperity. We'll have a profitable and flourishing society. Just we have to get the economic part of it right. Now the Kshatriyas have to go beyond that and say the state has to be protected. The rogues and thieves have to be kept in check. It's great. You'll have prosperity, but you'll have some rogues and thieves who'll beat you over the head and take your land, or steal your cows, or whatever it is. So you need us to keep things lawful, to keep the state protected from these people, to protect the citizens, and to protect the property of the citizens. So they need to be there, and the vision has to be provided by the head. But why are we doing all these things? What's the purpose of our well-protected state? What's the purpose of our flourishing economy? These things are not eternal. Where are we going? So you need the Brahmins, you need the Kshatriyas, you need the Vaishyas, and the Shudras have to work. Without their work, you can't have economic prosperity. The whole basis of the society is, undermined or compromised if you don't have workers. I may have a great business, but if all my workers quit, then the business is over. Or if somehow or other I no longer have access to workers, then no, things can't go on. So the workers have to be respected also for their contribution, and they have to be properly maintained. Just to, is everything out of the workers and give them no benefit, give them no, deny them the necessities of a decent life is also foolish. Then they'll rebel sooner or later, and they'll take back. You won't give us what we need to live, then we'll plunder your storehouses, we'll smash your business, we'll set fire to your whatever, your fields, because you've gone too far. The same thing with the monarchy. If the monarchy just squeezes the Vaishyas, just tries to extract every cent, no, the Vaishyas will rebel. No, we have to have a profit. We have to have something here that's ours. And if you take everything away from us, then we're not going to. We won't function. Either we'll rebel, or we'll move to another state, another country. But we need to have profit, and we need to be able to do our business. So all the contributions of the different people of the different orders have to be respected. And the idea here is that we have to respect this system and see that it's in place and properly running, not try to destroy it. Not that if something's not working properly, we just trash it. Say, we don't need fire anymore because fire burns things. But we don't need water anymore because water can drown us. The fire has to be in its proper place. The water has to be moving properly, has to be in the right channel. So the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, the Shudras, the Brahmins, all of them have to be performing their prescribed duties. And then you have a proper state where everyone can act. Sve sve kramanya birata samsiddhim labate naraha. What is that? Yata pravitir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam. Svakarmana tamabhyarchya siddhim bindati manava. By performing prescribed duties according to varnashram, everyone can attain perfection. Doesn't matter whether one is a Brahmin, a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. If they're acting for the service of Krishna, everyone can attain perfection. Striya Shudra tata Vaishya te piyanti param gatim. Then one more point, coming back to the universal form. Prabhupada says, as long as these parts of the universal form are properly engaged in the service of the complete whole, their position is secure. Otherwise, they fall down from their respective positions and become degraded. It appears that Prabhupada is glossing or referencing a verse here. Ya esham purusam shakshad atma prabhavam ishwaram nabhajanti avajananti stanat prashta patanchira. As long as these four orders are engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they're properly situated. But when they neglect the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then these members of the four orders, nabhajanti, avajananti, when they don't worship him and instead they ignore him, stanat prashta patanti, then they fall down from their positions, or they become degraded, even if they're in their supposed position as king or as head of the business or as an intellectual. No, they're fallen. They're fallen. Why? Because they're in the personality of Godhead. So they may be great professors or they may be great political leaders, but they're already fallen, even though they may still be occupying the posts. They're fallen because they're mudhas, avajanati ma mudha. They disrespect the personality of Godhead, who is the source of their own creation, Atma Prabhavam. They're disrespecting the personality of Godhead. Then they're already degraded, already fallen. They're fools, mudha. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Panchatattva Prabhu has a comment here. Karl Marx would roll over in his grave upon seeing what's happened to Russia, its oligarchy, dictatorship, etc. He had an impossible dream indeed. And he also comments, thank you, Guru Maharaj. Wonderfully thorough comments on 4644 needs to be in print. And Saraswati Mata has something here also. Pranams Param Puja Maharaj and all the Vaishnavas. In the series of lectures on the Goloka chart, it was stated that in the spiritual world, they have Ganesh, Durga, Sadashiva, and the major named demigods like Agni, Indra, Vayu, etc. that we have here, but they are all expansions of Vishnu and are his eternal associates and servitors. It was stated that they are Vishnu Tattvas. However, their counterparts that are present in the material world with the same names are not Vishnu Tattvas. With the exception of Shiva here, they are Jiva Tattvas. Similar to the main function of these associates, those demigods with the same names here in the material world have some small features and potency as those Vishnu Tattvas in the spiritual world. They did mention how Shiva is in his own category here. I didn't get the scriptural reference, but they made these notes. Hare Krishna. Thank you for that. And it's 7:56. Time for kirtan. Panchatattva Prabhu, are you parked safely enough that you can lead a kirtan?
I'm still here.
Jai, your lighting
Parked.
has changed.
Stationary.
Cool.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Privrajacharya Astottara Sata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Privrajacharya Astottara Sata Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Brind Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Adwaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakund Radhakund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulasi Devi Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaura Premanande. Haribol.
Hari, Haribol. Thank you so much, Panchatattva Prabhu. Hare Krishna. And Maharaj gives us a verse reference from the 11th canto, 11.5.3. Thank you everyone so much for being here, for your questions, participation, listening. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Gaur Premanande.
Haribol. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Panchatattva Prabhu. Thank you all.
I really mean it. Your comments on that verse 44 were just amazing. And he's very wonderful. Thank you.
And Prabhupada's explained these things so many times. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Radhesha Prabhu. Hare Krishna.